Once upon a time, in a bustling village where life was simple yet filled with the noise of daily routines, lived Surya, a boy with raven black hair, bright eyes, and an insatiable curiosity. Even as a toddler, Surya wasn't like other children. While most kids played with toys, he often gazed at the sky, lost in its vastness. Growing up, his mind was an orchestra of questions. Why do some people cry while others laugh? Why do the birds fly? Where do the rivers end? His parents, loving but simple folks, would often smile, patting his head. You and your endless questions, Surya. But as the years passed, his inquiries shifted from the simple wonders of the world to the intricate mysteries of life. He pondered over concepts of happiness, suffering, destiny, and the grand purpose of life. One sunny day, feeling particularly contemplative, Surya took a walk near the forest that bordered his village. Birds chirped, and the wind whispered tales of ancient times. Deep in thought, he hardly noticed where he was going and found himself deeper in the woods than he had ever ventured before. It was here he saw an old monk, sitting serenely beneath a grand oak tree. The monk's eyes were closed, his face a picture of utter peace. A strange magnetism pulled Surya towards him. After what seemed like hours, the monk opened his eyes, finding the young boy watching him intently. Surya, not one to hold back his thoughts, blurted out, "Why do you sit here, away from the village, in such silence?" The monk smiled gently. "To hear the truths that loud voices often drown out, my boy. Silence isn't just the absence of noise. It's the space where the universe whispers its secrets." Intrigued and eager to understand, Surya asked if he could learn. The monk nodded, signaling for the boy to sit beside him. This marked the beginning of Surya's mentorship under the wise monk. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Each day, Surya would venture into the forest, where the monk introduced him to the world of mindfulness. He learned to listen to the rustling leaves, the flowing water, and the songs of the wind. He began to realize that in every silent moment, there was a cacophony of insights just waiting to be understood. The monk often told Surya, "In our world, where everyone is rushing, few understand the power of stillness. By being silent, you allow your mind the space to reflect, understand, and grow." One day, during their meditation, a sudden downpour began. While any other person might have run for shelter, the monk remained seated, a slight smile playing on his lips. Surya, taking his cue from the monk, remained still, feeling each raindrop, hearing its story. It was a transformative experience. He felt connected to the world around him in a way words could hardly capture. As the seasons changed and the leaves of the oak tree turned golden brown, Surya's understanding of life deepened. The village folk started noticing a change in him. The boy, once restless with questions, now emanated a calm wisdom. They would often find him by the river or under a tree, lost in silent contemplation. And in those moments of quiet, Surya found his answers. His reputation grew. People from neighboring villages came seeking his insights on life, love, grief, and joy. They would sit by his side, and more often than not, instead of giving direct answers, Surya would guide them into moments of silence, helping them find their own truths. Years passed, and tales of Surya's wisdom reached far and wide. The boy who once sought answers had become a beacon for others on the same journey. Through his teachings, many learned that the loudest answers often come in the quietest moments. One day, a young girl, her eyes filled with familiar curiosity, approached Surya with a barrage of questions. Surya smiled, seeing a reflection of his younger self in her. Instead of answering, he pointed to the grand oak tree under which his journey had begun. And so, in the heart of the forest, beside the wise old tree, the cycle continued. The teachings of the power of silence, of stillness, and of introspection passed down, touching countless souls, guiding them towards enlightenment. In Zen Buddhism, silence isn't just the absence of noise. It's a direct experience of the present and the essence of Zen itself. Through silence, one transcends dualistic thought, attains deep introspection, and realizes their true, undivided nature. This silence fosters a natural compassion born from recognizing the interconnectedness of all things. Through zazen, seated meditation, one confronts and transcends life's impermanence, experiencing a momentary enlightenment. In Zen, silence is both the path and the realization of one's true nature. If you have gained value from this video, give it a like and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching.